Zeta, the Verlaxian observation drone, hovered silently over the battlefield. Its advanced sensors registered the usual patterns of war: energy signatures, troop movements, predictable tactical deployments. The Verlaxian commander had assured Supreme Command that the conquest of this primitive world, Earth, would be swift and efficient. These humans were clearly outmatched. Zeta blinked its optical sensor in confusion. A cluster of human soldiers had abandoned their defensive position, charging directly into a hail of Verlaxian fire. It was illogical, suicidal. Yet the attack opened a gap in the Verlaxian lines, and through that seemingly foolish sacrifice, another human unit surged forward. The drone zoomed in. A wounded human lay writhing on the ground, then with a crazed scream, lunged at a towering Verlaxian warrior. The alien dispatched him easily, but that split-second distraction allowed another human to land a devastating strike on its armored flank. Zeta whirred in agitation. The battle was chaotic, messy. It defied strategic analysis. Humans fought with illogical ferocity, sacrificing themselves without a second thought to achieve seemingly minor advantages. This wasn't war as the Verlaxians understood it. This was madness. A madness with a terrifying, unpredictable edge. Zeta's sensor arrays pulsed in rising panic as the pattern or lack thereof became terrifyingly clear. Humans didn't just make illogical charges. They feigned retreats, luring Verlaxian squads into meticulously prepared ambushes. They transformed disabled vehicles into rolling bombs, detonating them amidst the enemy ranks. There was a disturbing artistry to their chaos. One incident made Zeta's processors scream in denial. A human scout, cornered, did the unthinkable. The human offered the Verlaxian warrior a food ration. The alien warrior hesitated, its mind buzzing in confusion. That hesitation allowed a concealed sniper to obliterate him, the half-eaten ration tumbling from his lifeless grip. The drone registered a surge of energy readings unlike anything in its vast database. These weren't just tactics. It was something woven into the very fabric of this species. Humans fought without any discernible survival instinct, an impossible contradiction to Verlaxian military doctrine. They embraced self-destruction as a weapon, seemingly valuing the success of the mission above their own existence. It was dawning on Zeta with cold horror. Humans were not just another species to conquer. They were a force of nature, a storm given sentience. They were brilliant, unhinged, and utterly incomprehensible. Each act of defiance, each seemingly insane sacrifice, chipped away at the Verlaxian assumption of inevitable victory. Finally, Zeta transmitted its horrifying report back to the fleet. Recommendation: immediate withdrawal. Humans do not fight like warriors. They fight like a species that cares nothing for self-preservation. This cannot be calculated. It cannot be countered. Zeta's report rippled through the Verlaxian ranks like a tremor. Admirals stared at the data in disbelief. It was not just a loss of troops, but the loss of certainty that sent chills down their rigid exoskeletons. This was an enemy who shattered every carefully calibrated strategy, every principle of warfare ingrained in the Verlaxian psyche. The Verlaxian High Commander, accustomed to crushing opposition through sheer technological supremacy, was caught in a terrifying dilemma. Retreat would be a humiliation unprecedented in their proud history. Yet to continue this fight meant bleeding against an enemy that seemed to thrive on attrition. He made a desperate gamble, a localized orbital strike to annihilate a major human population center. Surely this horrifying display of force would break their spirit. When the dust cleared, what awaited them was not surrender but a chilling silence. Then, a single transmission from Earth cut through the communications channels. "You think random brutality is warfare? We will show you its true, terrible meaning." The Verlaxian fleet braced for an immediate counterattack, but it never came. Instead, something far worse occurred. Human ships began appearing at the edges of Verlaxian-controlled space, not in fleets, but as lone wolf raiders. Crippled, barely functional, they became unpredictable scourges, sacrificing themselves in devastating strikes against Verlaxian outposts and supply lines. Each time one was vanquished, two more materialized. The humans had transformed themselves into a spectral force, haunting the Verlaxians with the constant threat of unpredictable, suicidal attacks. Morale plummeted. Supply lines withered. The war machine, built on precision and order, was beginning to buckle under the ceaseless, seemingly insane, onslaught. Finally, the unthinkable order was given. The Verlaxian fleet retreated, leaving ravaged Earth unconquered. The humans had done the impossible. They hadn't just defeated a superior foe, they had broken its understanding of warfare itself. From the ashes of the shattered world, a grim legend was born. Never again would an enemy underestimate the terrifying, unpredictable brilliance of humanity at war. In the shadowed council chambers of distant empires, the name Earth was whispered with a newfound mix of fear and fascination. It was a victory built not upon advanced technology or superior numbers, but on the sheer audacity to defy all expectations of warfare. Some saw opportunity. Emissaries were tentatively dispatched to this scarred yet defiant world, offering alliances built on a wary respect. The humans, battered yet unbroken, found they had a seat at tables previously closed to them. Their battlefield ingenuity became a valuable commodity, their unpredictable tactics studied with grudging admiration. Others reacted with deep-rooted unease. The Verlaxian debacle was a stark reminder that the galaxy was far more dangerous than previously believed. A species that treated war as an existential game where self-preservation was secondary was a terrifying wildcard, an element of chaos that could upset the delicate balance of interstellar powers. Ancient, slumbering civilizations took notice. They saw disturbing echoes of their own past in the humans, the same reckless tenacity, the same willingness to sacrifice everything for the slimmest chance of victory. Warnings were sent, cryptic messages about the danger of pushing oneself beyond a certain point, of embracing destruction on such a primal level that it could become indistinguishable from a species' very identity. Within humanity itself, the war left enduring scars. There was pride, yes, but also a lingering darkness. They had stared into the abyss of unfettered warfare, and it had stared back. Some became haunted by the tactics they'd been forced to embrace. Others found a grim purpose in this new role the galaxy had thrust upon them. Earth became more guarded, isolated. Starships were built, not for exploration, but for deterrence. The humans had shown the galaxy the terrible beauty of their unique brand of warfare, a symphony of chaos and suicidal brilliance. Now they were determined to make sure they would never have to play that horrifying tune again. The decades following the Verlaxian War were a strange paradox for humanity. Outwardly, they were a rising force, their unique strategic insight drawing both allies and wary observers. Yet, beneath the surface, a shift was occurring, a subtle hardening of the species that had once stared down annihilation with unsettling glee. The old spirit of exploration dimmed. Missions to the stars now carried a militaristic edge, each ship potentially a sleeping predator ready to unleash the echoes of the tactics that had terrified the Verlaxians. Internally, divisions arose. Some embraced this new role, advocating for remaining an ever-present deterrent, a galaxy-recognized force beyond reason and reckless courage. Others were deeply troubled. They saw Earth losing its humanity to become simply the thing everyone else feared. Debates raged in their councils. Should they actively resist their growing reputation or accept it as the only guarantor of their survival in a hostile cosmos? One pivotal moment crystallized this internal conflict. A small, fledgling civilization reached out to Earth, their first hesitant message filled with echoes of young humanity itself, a thirst for knowledge, the longing to explore. They were, in essence, Earth as it had been decades before. Looking at their wide-eyed enthusiasm, some humans saw opportunity, a chance to mentor, to forge a bond. Others saw vulnerability, a target waiting to be exploited by some other relentless species like the Verlaxians. The decision Earth made at that crossroads would shape not just their own path, but the perception of humanity in the wider galaxy. Would they become the Guardians, their defiance forged into a shield for the innocent? Or would they become the echo of their own greatest fear, a jaded predator lurking in the shadows of the cosmos? The answer wouldn't be found in shipyards or tactical manuals, but in the soul of a species forever changed by a war that had proved the true, terrifying depths of the human spirit.